Hey, everybody, we're about to start this episode of Talking Shit with Jim Jeffries and Eddie Ift with our guest, Greg Fitzsimmons from Fitzdog Radio. You've probably heard him before. You're probably a fan of his podcast or heard him on Sirius Satellite, where he also has a show, or maybe on Howard Stern. Well, he's here right now in the Rape Cottage. But before we start the show, I want to thank all the shitheads sincerely from the bottom of my heart and let you know that the other day I was reading the Facebook page and I was like, wow, I can't believe how many of you really support us and listen and pay attention and write shit. And I just want to say, keep it up. You're the ones that make us keep doing this, and we really appreciate it. So go to our Facebook, like it, post on it, go to our YouTube, watch our videos. Everything you can find comes straight out of JimandEddieTalkShit.com. Just go to JimandEddieTalkShit.com and you can link to everything, our Facebook, our YouTube, everything. You can listen to our other shows too, the Moncast, the Wadcast, that's WODCAST. You can listen to the Brian McCarthy interview show, and you can also support the show by buying packages, 50, 25, 75. We're selling little African children on our website. If you donate $50 to our show, we will get you a little African child. Not from like the good countries like South Africa, but from one of like Botswana or something like that. We'll get you it'll be like a little flea-infested, AIDS-ridden kid, and you'll get him. And I know what you're thinking. What do you want with him? But there's a lot you can do with it. You clean him up, you can sell him for a lot more. But the money you give us is going to the show, and that'll make us be able to go buy more kids and get them out of the plane that we use to fly them out of Africa and get them back here and then sell them. So help us out with this new business venture we have. And with it, you'll also, not only will you get a kid, you'll get a DVD or a poster or something like that. So do that. You can find that on our website. And that's all available at JimandEddieTalkShit.com. And go to iTunes and comment. Leave good comments. Don't comment and be like, Jason sucks. Leave a good comment and then 5-star it, because the stars and everything helps our ratings. And go to Stitcher and listen to us, and listen to Fitzdog Radio, because he's a great guest and you're going to enjoy him. If you heard him last episode, he was great. He's going to be good on this one. It's fucking great. You're all great. Oh, go fuck yourselves. And now we start the episode.
Two douchebags on a couch. One's an asshole, one's a grouch. And relentless, all their mouths. Jim and Eddie talk shit. Jim and Eddie talk shit.
Have you seen Jason's apartment?
I have, yes. It's a holding factory for hair care products. Yeah.
And it had no door at one point?
Well, that was his old apartment.
It looks
he
like
kicked his door off the hinges because he locked his dog in there.
The house looks like a heroin
and
den.
then told us that drug dealers did it, and then told us we couldn't talk about it on the air
because lives are at stake.
because the drug dealers would come get him. But it turns out he knocked the door off, but he told his landlord that drug dealers did it.
Yeah.
Like, that's a better excuse.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the dog was in there and was getting restless, so he couldn't find his key, so he
But
kicked
then his
his own
landlord
door.
told him he had to get a door, and he didn't get one.
He didn't get one,
Yeah.
and then
So
he
his landlord
evicted
said,
him.
if you don't get a door, I'm going to evict you. And he tells me...
It took a long time to evict him because the landlord didn't know where to put the notice.
And one night sitting here at like 11 o'clock, he goes, hey, can you drive me to Home Depot? And I go, why? He goes, I have till midnight to get a door or I'm evicted. And I go, all right. So we drive to Home Depot. And of course, it's the night it like closes at 10 o'clock. I go, you're facing eviction. Wouldn't you have just called to see when they're open?
Yeah.
And you put it to the last, like, it was so sad when we tried to go into Home Depot and they're like, sorry, we're closed. And he's like, closed and evicted. You just had me evicted. He put it on the guys from Home Depot. You just had me evicted. And I'm like, no.
In the end, he put a bit of cardboard up and he put a handle on with a Sharpie.
And then the landlord came and changed the lock on his cardboard door.
So
What's the saddest thing is that, like, the saddest human stories in all of LA are at the Home Depot, waiting out front, looking for work.
Yeah.
And he just fucking trumped them. He out fucking illegal immigranted them.
So he's coming to the next show, and he said to me, his best friend was over, and he was like, "You need to meet my best friend." So I was like, "This will be an hour of material." So I went down the street to this party that Jason was having at his house, and I'm talking to the friend, and the friend completely dismissed me right away. And I was like, "Oh, I want to talk to this guy. His name's Corey." And Jason introduced me as Eddie. He goes, "Corey, Eddie, nice to meet you," and he completely dismisses me. And then we're all conversing, and all of a sudden Jason says something, and he goes, "That's a lie." And I realized, like 2 seconds later, he goes, "Another lie, Jason." And I'm like, this has been going on his whole life. Like, this is his
He's
best
that
friend
guy.
calling him out on all his lies. So
Before the internet, he was a genius.
yeah.
Yeah.
So then he says something, and
Yeah.
Corey goes, "Yeah, you should tell Jim and Eddie that one." And Jason goes, "Well, he's right here." And all of a sudden, Corey goes, "Oh my God, you're him. And Jason goes, "What?" And he goes, "I'm starstruck. It's it's Eddie of Jim and Eddie. Oh my God. Oh, holy shit." And I'm like, "You fucking care?"
You know this guy's from Tennessee. Though.
He's
Yeah.
from Louisiana.
Yeah, okay.
And it was the biggest deal to him. So then I go, "Tell me about Jason." Now he wants to talk.
Yeah.
And he's got all the information about Jason.
He's selling Jason out right in front of him.
Selling him out so much that I think Corey switched his plane flight today. He was supposed to leave this morning. I think he's showing up with Jason.
Oh, he wants to come to the show. That'd
That's gonna be
interesting.
great. Yeah.
That-
Get rid of fucking.
So what's happening with Jason and his mentor?
He's really mad at Lily.
Yeah, but what's happening with the guy? We won't mention his name, but what's happening with how's that friendship going? Because I heard a story that guy had told Jason that he has to pick a side.
Oh, wow. I don't.
This is very nebulous.
Yeah, I don't know where that's going. It seems like Jason wants to he wants to back us again.
Because we're Moneyball now.
Yeah, you got your TV
We're,
show.
like we don't look as flashy as the movie guy, but
yeah.
we're making cash.
Yeah,
we're getting we're getting to first all the time.
and I'm not
yeah.
sure. We had a bet. Who bet? What were the months you guys all bet on him getting evicted? How long? You said he'd stay 2. I said.
1 year.
You said a year. You said 3 months. How long did you
I
say?
said like 4 or 5 months or something.
Okay, I said he would stay the first month. He wouldn't pay rent the second month, and he'd be out after that. Ding, 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 ding.
Is he being kicked out? Is he?
I think he's out at the end of this. He's looking for a new place. So I think
He's fucked, isn't he?
Jesus.
He didn't pay his rent.
But does he try to stay at your guys' places when he's homeless?
I moved
He
in.
lived here
I
for 6
moved
months.
in. I bought a big house and I moved in with my girlfriend, and he just thinks he's going to wear me down for one of the rooms.
Yeah. Has he been over?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
he's
mistake.
already
Big
he's already
mistake.
dropped all the
decorated it.
hints.
Yeah, he's already decorated it in
Jim,
his
we
head.
could put another
Yeah.
ping pong table here and put I can fix this.
Yeah.
Like he lived here, but he fixed stuff in the house. But everything he fixed ended up broken again.
Yeah.
You know,
No, there's a
including
lot of
his
that.
will.
That's a Venice occupation. Couch layer, fixer-upper guy. Like in exchange for not being homeless. He does shit that then breaks quickly thereafter.
Yeah.
Thus ensuring his
Necessity.
Yes.
Yep. That's him. He's kind of good at it. He said to me last night when his friend and I were terrorizing him, like his friend and I were beating up on him like you and I do. And I go, it even happens with like your old friends. And Jason goes,
It's a character I play. I play this character.
No. He's dropped all the bravado. It's gone. He goes, I don't know. It's just me. Everything in my life is torn. It's like, I don't know, torn. He goes, like shirts, torn, pieces of paper, torn, everything. It's just a mess.
That's
Asshole.
actually kind of poetic. That's kind of beautiful.
Well,
My life is torn.
we hadn't talked to him
That
in a
little
while.
bit of the bottom of his stomach. That
Oh, and
Oh, who farted? Speaking of stomach,
that
who
was
just
Harlow.
farted?
It had to be Harlow.
Jesus Christ.
As I said, Mom didn't have a heart attack.
yeah, I know. His mother didn't have a heart attack.
He said she did?
he like all he has to hear is like a trigger word, like something like your mom's heart. Boom, he turns it into the worst possible thing for
Yeah.
dramatic effect.
Yeah.
To get attention. And his mom does have cancer, and we sent him home to
Which
see
is
her.
way worse than a heart attack, by the way.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
while she was getting
But you
chemo,
look better on a heart attack.
only,
You mean the
only
actual act of the heart
after.
attack?
Yeah, but like if you go, oh, I had a heart attack the other day, you'd be like, oh, you look all right. But you can really tell when someone's had cancer.
You know what the worst though is having a heart. I would be so embarrassed. Like right now, if I had a heart attack, I would be scared for my life and embarrassed that there were 5 people watching me.
Right.
You know, fucking tremble and writhe around and not breath. I would be looking at you guys like, I'm so fucking sorry.
Epileptic fit would be worse.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
went
true.
out with someone who had epilepsy. Horrible.
Yeah, it is bad. I saw a guy have one on the side of a road once, and I pulled up, and I was with a van full of 5 comedians on tour in New Zealand, and they were all like, I'm like, we need to help this guy. And they're like, no, we don't. And I'm like, we need to help this man. They're like, you go.
I once was driving home from a gig very recently in England, and it was about 4 a.m, and I was driving through London, just on I was in zone 4 or 5, so I was right on the outskirts. I was coming in, and I went to an intersection, and there was a car rolled onto its roof, right, with people still dangling underneath it.
And you zoomed
Jesus.
by.
And I stopped the car, and I came out, and there was one other bloke who had already stopped, and he goes,
He was zipping up his pants.
yeah, he goes, the ambulance are coming, and he helped the people out, and I sort of thought, I went, so you're all good, mate? You got this covered? And he's like, yeah, I got this covered. And off I went. It was like I was just extra help. I wasn't any real help. I was like when a kid's trying to help you cook, and it's like, just stir this for me. It's just like causing a mess.
Yeah.
This other guy looked really good at what he was doing.
Yeah,
so
you're just a rubbernecker at that point.
Yeah. Like I stopped.
see-
Well, I just saved a kid's life. We just went down. What's your name again? Ray took me down to the boardwalk to get some food, and I'm standing there waiting for my burger.
What, you just stopped him from eating on the Venice boardwalk?
Yes.
This stuff will kill you.
So I'm standing there, and there's this couple. She's pregnant, and they've got a kid who's about 3, and there's a little gap between them. And this crackhead skateboarder comes flying through and has the whole fucking boardwalk to skate along, chooses to fucking thread the needle between this family. As he does, the kid turns around and steps into the path of the skateboard. I fucking swooped down, grabbed the kid and pulled him out of the way. The kid would have broken his head wide open. You saw it?
Yeah, there was absolutely nobody on the boardwalk. It wasn't like one of those busy days where it was just shoulder to shoulder people.
So he did it on purpose.
I don't know. Maybe he was trying to make it exciting for himself.
There
I
was a
don't know.
crackhead outside Jason's apartment last night at the party.
It was Jason. He couldn't get in.
She was like schizophrenic, like screaming for 5 minutes and bashing her head off the wall, like blood bashing. That everybody called the
It's
ambulance.
been a good party.
Everybody called the ambulance and called the police showed up and everything. And the police are like, "Where is she? Where is she?" And first somebody goes, "This is police first," and they're like, "Well, we called the ambulance." And Jason yells out to the cops, "Should call a priest." Like she needs an exorcism.
Right.
And I'm like, he always goes, "I have problems with cops." I'm like, well, in this situation where the
He
police are
doesn't.
looking
The
to do their
fact that
job,
no cops just pull him up just for walking around is unbelievable.
but he didn't have to say that right there. The cops are trying to do their job. They don't want to. This is not the kind of thing that they want to come out on anyways. They
Yeah.
don't want to deal with the schizophrenic. And then everybody's trying to figure out because she disappeared, and everybody's like, well, where is she? And Jason goes,
She was never there to begin.
Jason, call a priest. And I was like, I hope they come over and just beat you to death. I'll film it and give it to them. Like, I'm not putting this on TV. I'm going to go, good work, cops.
Yeah, that's got to be the shit. When you see cops respond to a homeless person that's really fucking nuts, that should be hospitalized. You just
And
think,
Jason pulled out his camera.
God, what a shit job that is.
That's the worst because you know that they're going to touch you and they could have some kind of disease or something.
say AIDS.
Not that one. That's not the bad one anymore. Ebola's worse.
There's that new one that's like AIDS that you don't even get from fucking.
Which
It's
one's
just-
that?
They've just had it. It's come in the last 2 weeks, and it's got the same symptoms as AIDS,
Really?
and it's spread by mosquitoes or flies or something, and it's exactly the same as fucking AIDS.
In
but-
this country?
Yeah, it's just come to town.
Why are you the only one in the room that knows about
it was on the news.
Now all my fears have gone away. Now I have a whole new thing to be afraid of.
How many people
And it
have
happens just as I get a girlfriend and stop
They're
fucking
saying
fucked
they're
up.
saying it's spreading at the same sort of rate from early day AIDS. Like that's why they're saying it's similar to you know about these things.
Jesus. And the only way to get past it is
Ray,
to fuck somebody in the ass?
can you find the new AIDS
Do we have to fuck a
disease?
virgin like they do in
Yes.
South Africa?
Yeah, this seems crazy, Jim. I'm.
It was on the news. It's about some mosquito.
Is
or
it called
something.
New AIDS?
It's got AIDS Light, AIDS Zero, AIDS Max,
Fly AIDS.
AIDS.
Flying AIDS.
Yeah, it's It's got
Mosquitoes.
AIDS-like symptoms, and it's spreading the same way that when AIDS first got over here.
Now I don't have to be afraid of like skanky vaginas. I've got to be afraid of.
I'm just so excited
Mosquitoes.
that I can get AIDS the regular way and lie to my girlfriend.
There you go. Yeah. I know, because how many options were there before? Intravenous drugs.
Yeah.
You know what?
for gay sex. Now,
this sounds like.
I was at the beach.
Yeah.
But this
I was
is-
volunteering at a soup kitchen outside.
This couldn't be Christian propaganda either, because the Christian propaganda is to stop people from
Well,
fucking.
it's not AIDS. It's a different thing, but they're likening it to AIDS.
What don't they want you to do though?
You can't stop it. It's just coming to get you.
It's just the mosquitoes in your house and you're
What
done.
part of the country?
It's if you're near the beach, it's worse.
Near the beach. There you go. You can't find it. You're full of shit.
Jim made up new AIDS.
I'll find new AIDS
If
for
I
you.
googled new AIDS,
It's not going to be called new AIDS, and you know it.
Not talking about SARS, are you?
Shut up.
AIDS less.
I know. I didn't make this up. It was on the news like 4 days ago.
Wow, 4 days. I didn't hear about it.
You read the news, don't you?
I do. And
Yeah, but do you remember the first time that AIDS was on the news, or have you forgotten that?
no, I used to serve food in a hospital.
Greg
and
Louganis.
they used to make me wear a mask and gloves to go get the food out of the rooms. And they couldn't tell me why. This was in like 1979, 80, probably 80. So it was AIDS, but they didn't even know what AIDS was. They just knew that people that were touching these people were dying also.
Oh, and they didn't know. That's back when they didn't know what could cause it either.
They had a name. Yeah, they didn't know what caused it.
And so you
I was
actually were they
delivering
Yeah, and they weren't
food to these
sure if
people.
they were sending you in to get it.
Exactly. For minimum wage.
Here we go. Here we go, dickheads.
It's like Contagion or Contagion, whatever that movie was. Did you see how nobody knew how they were getting it? But they're like, hey, well, you just put a mask on. That'll
Yeah.
stop it. I would have
Yeah.
been like, no, I'm moving to Montana.
That's why I always resent when I see Asian people on a plane with the mask on. It's like, okay, so fuck us.
No,
right?
no. That's them not.
No,
they're sick
they've-
and they don't
they've
want
got
you
a
to get
cold.
sick.
Oh, that's nice. then.
I know. I used
Changed my
to
whole
think the same
mentality.
thing.
Suddenly I like Asian people a lot more.
Oh no, it's called Chagas, CHAGAS, and it says the new AIDS. Experts disagree.
Well, the news was saying it was the new AIDS.
It was probably Fox.
Okay, is
Maybe
tropical
you guys
disease really the new AIDS? May 31st, June 1st. This is 9 days.
This is a new segment on your show. It's when Jim makes some shit up, and then it's called Experts Disagree.
spread of
And experts
Chagas.
meaning anybody with
Look at this,
access
look at
to the
this New York
news.
Times spread of Chagas is called the new AIDS.
New AIDS. It is new
New
AIDS.
AIDS.
The new AIDS of America, Chagas disease, new AIDS of America. And it's only in America because that's from a British newspaper said that one. So they're going fucking Yanks. They got new AIDS.
Chagas disease is an illness spread by insects. It is common in South and Central America.
It's the new AIDS.
Chagas disease has two phases, acute and chronic. The acute phase may have no symptoms or very mild symptoms. Oh, geez. It's a tropical...
You know what the worst would be in Hollywood? Somebody would be like, oh, you got the new AIDS? And you're like, nah, I got the old AIDS. Like, even that, it's not as cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's commonly transmitted to humans and other mammals by an insect vector, the blood-sucking kissing bugs of the subfamily Triamenae. Most commonly species belonging to the blah, blah, blah. Disease may also be spread through blood transfusion, organ transplantation, or anal sex. Okay, I just added that. Ingestion of food contaminated with parasites and from mother to her fetus. The symptoms of Chagas disease vary over the course of an infection. In the early acute stage, symptoms are mild. Usually, this is like the Magic Johnson stage.
Does it say what part of the country?
Let's get down. Anti-parasitic treatments also appear to delay or prevent the development of the disease symptoms during the chronic...
Every time you're getting bit by a mosquito, you're going to freak the fuck
I know.
out.
I know.
May cause temporary side effects. Oh, okay.
And the worst is stage 1. There's no symptoms.
Here it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Chagas disease is contracted primarily in the Americas, particularly in poor rural areas of Mexico.
Thank God.
You're fucked, Arnie. Central America. It'll take you a long time to die.
It won't take long to spread up into San Diego, and then it's coming to get us. I'm telling you.
Mexico, Central America, and South America. Very rarely, the disease has originated in the southern United States. Wait, it started here, and then
We shipped it to Mexico.
We exported new AIDS. Just
I
like
tell you,
us,
there's
capitalists.
if there's like Venice is the fucking hotspot for this disease, man.
yeah.
These slummy alleyways you live in.
This couch.
Yeah.
The
These
insects that
fucking-
spread the disease are known by various local names. Oh, fuck. Oh,
Well,
I've seen this
Isn't
one.
it amazing how people in like Mexico and place like they've got shit. They've got like despots running their fucking government, and everything dries out. The crops, no, and then let's drop a fucking human catastrophe in the middle of it. Also, meanwhile, rich people, what like our
And you didn't even hear about it.
yeah.
New AIDS passed you by.
Yeah, it doesn't even have good PR.
You're going to be on AIDS 4 is the one that's going to get you. These first few AIDS.
You're
Right.
not buying
Yeah.
in. It's estimated that as many as 11 million people in Mexico, Central America, and South America have Chagas disease,
Jeez.
most of whom who do not know they are infected. Large-scale population movements from rural to urban areas.
How many
of
have
Latin
died? Probably 2. It's one of those things where like 2 people
It was
fucking
like SARS,
died.
because SARS only...
Wouldn't it be great if we found out that new AIDS killed old AIDS? Like if people with the old AIDS got infected, like, this just fucking fix me. So the
Yeah.
only way to cure Chagas disease is to like fuck like a gay guy in prison.
Yeah. Yeah, you just see Haitians rubbing fucking honey all over their limbs, walking through a garbage dump.
Here's symptoms include fever, fatigue, body aches, headache, rash. I have all these.
Dancing the night away.
Loss of appetite, diarrhea and vomiting,
Roller skating.
rollerblading. The si-
Protesting for your rights.
driving Mazda Miatas. The signs of physical examination can include
Calling Howard Stern a Jew.
trying to get married like everyone else. The signs of physical examination can include mild enlargement of the liver, spleen, swollen glands, where the parasite entered. You get a local swelling where the, oh my God. Swelling of the eyelids on the side of the face near the bite or wound where the bug's feces were deposited.
Hey, didn't we have a friend who had a swollen eyelid the other day that was in here?
We did.
We did.
Seriously?
Who was it? Nick Thune.
Nick Thune.
Who also was
Nick
bit
Thune
by
has
something
AIDS.
once.
Nick Thune
Has new AIDS.
Has new AIDS.
Go to his website, you just see dates canceled. Cleveland.
Anyway,
Now he's only gigging in Mexico. So he can be with his people.
See his IMDb rating just fucking
Yeah.
skyrocket.
I bet you're looking forward to dropping all the weight, Ernie. when you get new AIDS.
He'll have a T-shirt. You know, people have Red Bull T-shirts. He'll have new AIDS.
Jim, here it is again. Rarely, young people or adults may die from the acute disease due to severe inflammation, infection of the heart muscle or brain. The acute phase also can be severe in people with weakened immune systems. It's the same thing. Who died from it? Oh, some 90-year-old guy in a nursing home.
Well, that's not so bad.
Oh, so we can't die from new AIDS?
I don't think New Age.
I say bring it on.
You can't die from new. Didn't this whole start with you saying that this is a deadly
They're calling
new
it
disease?
new AIDS on the internet. When something's called new AIDS,
Yeah.
I read between the lines that it's deadly.
If it gets to the chronic stage, it affects the nervous system, digestive system, and heart.
Is there a cure for new AIDS?
About 2/3 of the people with chronic symptoms have cardiac damage, including
So it hurts your heart.
and may result in sudden death. About 1/3 of the patients go on to develop digestive system damage, resulting in dilation of the digestive tract.
I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, but it's only in the Americas. I'll go back to Australia if new AIDS gets out of hand.
Yeah, there's no danger in Australia, is there? It's probably one of the safest places in the world to be.
For disease. I don't know. We've got lots of
Disease-
snakes and
yeah, but you got
spiders. and-
nobody's going to nuke
This
you.
is the bug that you're supposed to look for.
I got to think.
Oh, yeah, he's wearing a rainbow flag.
His little tentacle is bent at a 90-degree angle. But you're not on the hit list for anybody nuclear-wise, right?
No, when 9/11 happened, Australia was worried that we were going to be next, and they put 2 security guys, one at each end of the harbour bridge. Not even cops. They were from Chubb Security, just this firm that Australia employed just two fat kids out of university on weekend jobs standing at either
We
end.
kind of did the same thing in America. I mean, like I had a buddy of mine that was a cop, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm protecting a reservoir." I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm manning the reservoir." I'm like, "Who is it? You and like 7,000 other cops?" He's like, "Just me."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "You're sitting at a reservoir." Yeah. He's like, "I'm guarding your water supply." You know, and it's some
Yeah.
reservoir.
Yeah,
Canadian border.
so that no one pours in like poisons. and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
But see, if you're going to blow up the harbour bridge, you wouldn't like walk across with it. You'd load up your fucking car in
Yeah.
a busy traffic
Yeah,
time
yeah.
with fucking explosives, and that's
All
how you do
right.
it.
You have to commit.
We can do this. We're allowed to talk about that.
Well, I'm not even. I got my own TV show in Australia. Only ran one small story. My mother had to search for it, so I'm not popular over there.
You're still mad at that.
No, I'm not.
I got to find out about this. You've got me, gave me a whole new thing to have panic attacks about.
So are you managed by Dave Martin?
No, but I hear he wasn't drunk. He's Dave Martin.
David Martin. He's a big Australian manager.
No,
Oh, really? I
Talent
don't know,
manager.
David.
Yeah, you never heard of David Martin? Sure.
is he over here? Is he?
You'll like this.
They've got a production company, management company. They're a big deal though. David Martin.
My agent
Good
over
guy.
there, named R.D. Lang
Is your agent where?
in Australia.
No shit.
That's his name, R.D.
Wow.
Lang.
Does he know?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I think we're all going to die.
Well, this bit definitely died.
Yeah.
No, I'm really starting to.
It's how it was always going to end. This is 2012. It was always going to end with bugs and us all being eaten to death.
There is currently no vaccine against Chagas disease, and prevention is generally focused on fighting the vector triatoma by using sprays, paints containing insecticides, and improving housing.
Paints?
the only
it's just the poor
the only vaccine they have is one of those swatters.
Yeah.
They've given them those little plastic things.
Yeah.
That's how you stop it.
And one of those bugs where everyone's like, you just hear zip, and you're like, victory.
This is why I don't go to other countries anymore, though. Like
This is happening in
third world
America,
countries.
man. It's
This is
happening in
here.
America.
No,
This is American. This is an American AIDS.
No, we had the first one. Oh, fuck. That wasn't
That
ours.
was Africa. Africa claimed that one.
my family.
We made it popular, though.
Yeah.
My family lives in an area. Have you ever heard of stink bugs?
Yes.
All the houses are infested with stink bugs, and it's a bug that it's indigenous of China, but they brought it
They
over.
are a smelly race.
They brought it over.
Chinese.
Oh, my.
That's why they
word.
wear the masks.
Yes.
They brought the bug over from China for some reason. They thought it was going to kill like some other kind of insect, so they brought it, but it ended up in everybody's houses and it stinks. Now the only thing that can kill the stink bug is this certain wasp.
And they're going to bring that.
They're
That's
going to
gonna
bring
be-
the wasp.
Like one of
in.
these cartoons where
And
it
then
just
eventually
becomes
it's going to be in a gorillas.
a gorilla.
Well, see, here's
Yeah.
the thing. That's the cane toad's the biggest plague in Australia. And someone's going to write and say that I'm wrong about this, but they're from Scandinavia, I believe.
Experts say.
Yeah. No, they're from...
Lives
they're-
are at stake.
I've seen documentaries, but they're from a Scandinavia. They're from a very cold country in Europe, right? And they eat the cane beetle, and the cane beetle was... the sugar cane's the main crop of Queensland. And so they brought over like 3 or 4 of these fucking things. Like, these will eat the cane beetle type of thing. Now, this frog lays eggs, and it lays like 40,000 eggs. Now, in the cold environment where it's from, 2 or 3 of those eggs would survive. Not in Australia. 40,000 of them fucking survive.
Yeah.
And now they're like, you go to bits of Queensland, and they're just fucking everywhere.
It's like when the Irish came to New York.
Yeah. And you can run over them in your car, they make a
Why-
good banging noise. And if you boil them down and drink the water, they're hallucinogenic.
No shit.
Yeah.
Do
What?
people do that a lot?
The poor folks do, yeah.
Is it a good high? I know. you
I've
did
never
it.
done it. I've never done
Why
that
not?
one. But you even see like The Simpsons, there's a bit where he licks the back of a
Yeah,
frog.
yeah, yeah.
I've heard
Oh no,
that
that was
about licking.
Family
I've heard
Guy.
of that.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing. You boil
I
it
know.
down.
I've heard about that. I never heard of boiling them. That's
I know-
fucking hard.
That's a better way
I
to
know
do
when-
it.
when
I
dog-
could drink a liquid. I couldn't lick a frog.
Now, licking a frog to me is after you get high.
Yeah.
I don't know if it would work though, because every time a dog licks or like tries to kill a toad or something, they always throw up from it. So maybe it's one of
That's
those.
why
like,
they
Every
do
time
it.
I've taken too many drugs, I throw up as well. So you
Yeah.
know.
why don't you guys
You
explore?
still take drugs?
I dabble, not really. I like mushrooms every now and again. Last time I took drugs was mushrooms at New Year's.
Wow.
So-
But you drink.
I do drink, yes.
Not a lot.
I used to drink a lot more than I do now, and now it's probably the best I've been with my drinking in years. but I can't handle it anymore. So I'm not going to drink during the whole time we're filming the TV show or anything like that.
Why are you winking?
No. Question: why don't you guys export? This is a serious question. Why don't you export kangaroos? Like, why can't we have? I would love to have kangaroos in America.
That is a good question. And
good animal.
We have them here. They got them down in Florida.
They've got them in the zoos and everything.
No, but I mean, like wild, like you do.
Well, that's up to you.
I'd like.
Oh, they got them wild. They got them wild in Florida and Texas.
No, are you
Yeah,
sure?
Yeah, they
Dude,
get ranches.
fuck off.
Sure, they do.
Wild kangaroos.
Experts disagree.
I hear
That's
that they
the game.
use.
You try to bring something up, and if the other two guys call you on it,
I don't think there's wild kangaroos in America. I think that's American rules. Why? Because we have rabbits in Australia, and they're not indigenous to Australia, and they're a plague. But people brought them over.
The
for
Australian Shepherd is not indigenous to Australia.
The Australian white person isn't. There's plenty of unindigenous things to Australia.
We weirdly have them here too.
Australian white people.
No, just white people that weren't indigenous.
Yeah. You have black people who aren't indigenous here as well.
Well, but they had no choice.
We have them, but they're only playing sport in our country. You don't have lots of black people. When you go around Australia, it's weird when you've been living out here. You just don't see black people. It's quite bizarre.
in Australia.
I was just in Malibu. Same thing.
Yeah.
well, they do well. They do well in Germany.
They do well. They do
Yeah,
well
like
everywhere.
you get military when you get military installations in like Scandinavian countries where people are fucking pasty white. Chicks love it. You talk to black guys that were stationed in Europe up north, they say it's unbelievable.
But I hear that from every black friend of mine. They're like,
No matter
you
where
name
they
a
go.
country, they're
Yeah.
like, oh, the chicks fucking went, and like,
I'd love to punish a girl with a black cock. Like just like hate fuck them for
like
every
hold one and
every
do it.
time someone's been racist to me. If you're listening to the podcast for the first time, I'm black.
Wait, you mean punish them like as if you would
Don't
unzip your
don't
otherwise
you
white
like
body?
watching like one of those big purple black cocks fucking a chicken porn? And
Makes
you
me
sort
really
of,
uncomfortable.
And there's sort of it's always slightly like there's some anger behind it.
Yeah.
reminds me of grade school.
Well, you know what it is it seems very unsexual. It does. It seems like they're playing a sport.
Yeah.
That sounds racist. But
Take it, you white bitch.
It
And
means
then do all that stuff.
Yeah,
Let's
like-
fuck this white bitch.
There's usually about 5 of them standing around one white
yeah,
girl.
they're masturbating, waiting.
It's kind of reparations. It's
This podcast doesn't go out.
no, we would never let people hear this. No one's ever called us.
I need to have a
racism
wank
on this
now.
show.
I'm really horny after that. Just that whole fucking.
You need a magic marker before you start.
Yeah.
You just hear
Jim's-
a Sharpie squeaking up there.
Jim's always said that when we talk about what kind of porn we like, he likes there can't be enough cocks in the room.
Yeah, I like one girl being fucking beaten up by a whole lot of cocks. That's my thing.
Yeah.
I'm a creature of habit. I'm not going to change.
Like all the holes being filled.
Yeah. I like it.
I like a lot of variety.
And I like a lot of dirty. The girl's got to fucking have a mouth on her like a pirate.
I've lately been going to the favorites. Like I'll go on X videos or YouPorn and look at like top of the week, or like I'm like if everyone else, if
I
everyone
find the favorites too soft.
really.
Sometimes I look at the favorite like, geez, we live in a weak world.
Yeah.
like I don't want to look at sex that I can have. I want to look at sex that I can't have.
Yeah, and I don't want to know that there's a bunch of other guys jerking off to it. I don't want a favorite. I
Yeah.
want a low-ranking piece of porn.
Yeah. I want a bit that only I know about.
Yeah. I want a girl. I want to know she's a runaway. First of all, they should promise you that she has not a living parent, or even friends.
Because you're a parent.
Yeah.
Oh, well, because I kind of like.
It's unsettling.
I like the fact that she's just got a rough life.
Well, that too.
Oh, I know a girl who's gotten into it recently. She had a fucking great childhood. Nothing wrong whatsoever. Just a lot of bad decisions.
Yeah.
And,
That's all it comes down
Yeah,
to.
but there was still some bad parenting.
Game of
there.
inches. It's a game of inches.
There had to be.
That was
bad
the name of her
parenting.
first film, as a matter of fact. I enjoy cast and couch porn. When
Everyone
Yeah.
likes it, but
Really
we found
enjoy it.
out for sure it's fake. We
Bullshit.
found out.
No,
We
you
found
don't.
out.
No. You and Jason.
Experts agree.
I'm telling you
no,
right now.
I think it's real.
There's no way it's not real because Yeah, I hosted the Porn Awards.
One of our fans.
Did you host the Porn
I've
Awards?
been
One of our
asked a
fan-
couple times.
If you're our
I couldn't
fan,
make
You gotta do it.
If
It's
you're our
fucking
fan
great.
that sent us the thing about the casting couch, send it to us.
Yeah, great. Somebody can email you something to
No,
say,
they-
I know acting.
Some of
When
the
I
girls,
watch-
some of the girls go on to be in porn.
There's no way when I see the natural look on their faces when he says you have to suck my dick. Bad actors don't know how to put a breath or space in something. The pasty silence that overcomes the room when they're told to do it.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure I have to do
But-
this?
all right. Yeah. Sure. To get the chat. Yeah.
Honey, look, I got a lot of other girls that would do this. If you're not comfortable, you can leave right now. No. It's fine.
Well,
Do I get paid?
do-
No, this is the audition for the producers.
Does it? I think somebody sent us though that at the end of the casting couch, like if you buy the DVD or something, at the end there's a thing saying, all these were hired actors that were paid.
Impossible. They would be Oscar nominated. I'm telling you, I fucking study. It's not like
I
it's
study it.
passively on in the background. My computer screen is inches from my face, and I'm looking for anything that's not real because I'd lose my erection.
They sign a contract and everything that they don't know what they're fucking signing. They've covered their asses, or otherwise it'd be illegal.
I
Yeah.
remember us finding out something, but the Bang Bus, which is a very
That
similar
one's
idea.
not
Well,
real.
that's
It's fake,
obviously that's easy
because
to tell.
I know some
it's
of those
easy to
girls.
tell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
that
they're
one's not
porn
real.
stars.
Yeah,
No.
that one's not real. They're
No.
picking the girl up in the bus. No girls do that. Just five guys. Let's
Didn't
go.
one of our fans bought us a membership to Bang Bus or to the Bang Brother? Who was that?
His name.
Well, I need some passwords. I like Brazers. Can you give me some passwords?
He took it.
Here's a
he
good
took it
site.
down.
Shush Time. Shush Time.
Shush Time?
SHOOSH.
I don't know that
Time.
one.
They have the daily specials.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of voyeur porn mixed in with actual street fights people catch on their cell phones. So you beat off, and then you feel really bad about yourself, and then you watch some violence, and it purges you.
See, I always liked watching.
How long
fight
have you been
first.
married for?
13 years.
How's that going?
Oh.
It's great. Love my wife. She's fucking awesome.
But
Right.
that's why lots of porn, though.
No, not really. I mean, I watch probably a healthy amount. I'm not like a freak.
I feel like porn's cheating. Not cheating, but it's like the alternative to cheating. It's like you
I think it's a way of sublimating your
yeah,
cheating.
you get to
I
get
think it's a healthy way of not cheating.
right, and
Yeah.
then when it's over, you're done.
I feel like I didn't cheat every time I jerk
Yeah.
off to porn.
Yeah.
I feel good about myself.
Yeah,
I
that's-
really do.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a real escape. And when Santorum said he was going to ban pornography, I've never laughed that hard in my whole life.
Yeah.
When he actually thought he could get that through.
Yeah.
He's
Like
just
the
going to
war
ban
on drugs.
a $54 billion industry. Good luck with that.
Yeah. No, it's the war on drugs. Anytime you outlaw sin, you're guaranteed for a great fight on both sides. You're going to get leverage out of it. You're going to get, you're going to get both sides heated up, and you're going to lose.
Yeah, you're going to lose for sure. And it goes more underground, which probably would get better.
Drink. I think Prohibition was probably the greatest time to go out and get drunk.
Right.
Tear it up.
And that's when it's like right now, if you think about all the people making money off of marijuana, once they legalize it, no one's going to make money like that ever again.
Well, they're saying the legal growers are not, the profit margin's not very big because it's still, now the expectation is so high that you have to really grow great fucking pot to make any money.
Well, when the vote was here and we were able to vote on it, I read that, like they said, Humboldt County and I think Mendocino County.
Yeah.
It lost in both those counties. And they were like, how could that lose? That's where all the pot people are. And it was because the growers were against legalizing it. Because the growers were like, if you legalize it, it's going to go corporate.
Yep.
And we're going to lose all our control and we're going to get paid less and we're going to make a lot less money. So
Yeah, the corporations are already buying up land up
yeah,
there.
I've heard they're ready. The corporation, and they've already patented, all the tobacco companies have patented the names of them.
Really?
So they own like, Kush.
Potheads will always be able to think of a new name. They are endlessly creative when they think of pot names.
But if you think about the really popular ones, if they're owned by, these big companies, America still likes McDonald's and it's shit. People will buy the shitty pot because
Yeah.
it's got the good name attached to
Yep.
it. So
they'll get a camel's face that people love, and
So the true potheads are going, fuck this, don't ever legalize pot. We're doing pretty well right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, that's what, when people go, we got to legalize marijuana, I'm like, when's the last time you had difficulty getting it?
well, it'll be just the way. If you want to take heroin into your arm, you're poor, and if you want to take fucking Vicodin,
Oxycontin, yeah.
it's the same exact thing, except that somebody's making money off.
Right.
Different people are making money off of it.
Oh boy, the Vicodin's good.
Oh, motherfucker.
I even stepped it up to the Percocets.
No, be
I've,
careful, man.
I've never had one.
It's amazing.
Don't do it.
It's so addictive.
I had shoulder surgery and I started taking it, and all of a sudden, like 9 months later, I'm like, gee, why do I take a handful a day every day? My shoulder's fine. And then I went off that shit. It was like the darkest 48 hours of my life. It was like fucking suicidal thoughts for 3 days,
Yep.
easy.
Yep. It's I took it for a broken ankle, and about halfway through, I said, I have to stop taking this because it makes everything wonderful.
Yeah.
And as soon as I'm off of it, everything's terrible. And like I'd be miserable, and I'd sit there. 20 minutes later, it would kick in, and I'd be like, "Isn't it a beautiful day? Don't you just
Friday night after the first show, I'd take a couple of Vicodin, and the late show was paradise. I would riff. I didn't give a fuck that they were drunk and not listening.
You could have
it was
hecklers.
you'd have these great, because you had no fear, so you would do new bits. You would go so deep into the bit with such confidence. You'd actually come up with amazing fucking material, and then you go do your next show without it, and it was like, I can't touch that. I can't do that same material now.
It was awesome. And a comedian we all know. I went to dinner with him one night, and we were having dinner.
Jim Gaffigan?
No, I'm not going to say his name. But
Todd Barrett.
Yes. No. He goes, I was telling him about the how I would like love the it was OxyContin, I think I was taking. And I said I had to quit because I was afraid I was going to get addicted. And he goes, what'd you do with the ones that you, and I go, I don't know, they're just in my medicine cabinet. He goes, can we get the check? And he goes, let's go to your house. We came over here and he took them.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, I didn't know some people really like those.
I saw this dude in the improv recently, and he's like, hey man, how you doing? I'm like, I'm sorry, I have such a bad memory. Who are you? At Comedy Club. A year ago, we hung out. You came back to my apartment. I gave you some OxyContin, and I was taking so much. I did not remember, like he said he had some. I was like, let's go to your apartment. I walked halfway across Manhattan with this guy, got some pills, and then went back to my hotel. No fucking memory of it.
I had
Sucked his dick. That's the only thing missing from that story.
I got an abscess in my tooth and went and remembered that I had like a prescription for oxy. I had like an empty thing that said refill. So I took it. I had to fly to Florida. I landed in Florida, and I go straight to the drugstore to go fill it. And you would have thought they were going to pull out machine guns on me. They were like, "What the fuck do you think you're doing?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "I'm getting a prescription refilled," and they're like, "This is a class 1 narcotic or whatever. You don't get this refilled." I'm like, "It says get a refill," and they're like, "This is state of California. You're in Florida. Who do you?" And they're like, "We're going to call the cops if you don't get out of here right now." And I'm like, "I'm going to get fucked. I didn't know this drug."
Down in Florida, people are jumping over the fucking counters with shotguns and clearing out all the hydrocodone, all that shit.
Hydrocodone, that's
no,
what
it's the fucking hillbilly heroin.
Yeah.
It's a real American thing, this whole painkiller addiction.
Always has been. We had it for a
It
long time.
doesn't happen in the rest of the world. Everyone else is just doing good old coke and ecstasy.
Because we have the big corporations, the pharmaceuticals that make money.
I think
off
it's
this
because
and don't
people
care.
rationalize it in their head that it's a thing and it's a
Yeah.
prescription.
Well, yes, that because they're afraid to be honest and truthful with themselves that they have an addiction rather than.
I also think it becomes kind of a visceral thing. When you're a kid, you take aspirin. We take so many pills at a young age that the association of pill and making
I
things
was on
better.
so much Ritalin as a kid, it was unbelievable towards him. We're talking
Really?
8, 9, 10 pills a day.
But in America, people had so much faith in doctors too that they think if it comes from a doctor, it can't be bad.
Yeah.
Like this isn't a drug because
What's amazing is how many of them are writing prescriptions for it.
I went to doctors. I was having some anxiety issues like 2 years ago or a year ago, whatever.
They went away?
Yeah, I got rid of them. I just fucking like read about it and got rid of it.
Hmm.
But I went to every doctor I'd go to for anything. Like I had an earache once. I'm like, how's everything else? I'm having a little anxiety. Doctors that aren't even in that particular.
Oh, yeah.
We're going, let me get you some
Yep,
Xanax.
anybody can.
Like they wanted to give me the drug.
Yep.
Like they were, like almost like they were getting a cut. And you know they're not by law. They're not getting taken on those trips anymore. None of that shit. But for some reason, like friends of mine that are doctors, let me just give you a prescription for Xanax, and I'm like,
let me give you a fucking the first step towards a horribly it's so hard to get off that shit. And all it takes, if you have an addictive personality like I do,
how'd you get off of it?
I just white knuckled it hard. I mean, I tapered down, but then when the final step of going off it completely was just it was fucking hard.
Yeah, because I started with the Vicodin, it didn't work, and then they go, oh, okay, we'll get you the Percocets or hydrocodone or OxyContin. And then the doctor was like, oh, you need another refill? You need a refill? And I was like, why are you shoveling this shit? And I thought, oh, this is fine. The doctor's giving it. I had that same thought. And then I was like, no,
Not only that, let me just say right now, if any of my friends or family are listening, I have been in your medicine cabinet. And if you think you have some for a rainy day, it rained. It fucking rained already. Refill.
So
Go
how
refill.
long did you take them for?
Not that long, 9 months. But I mean, I was
That's a long fucking time.
Yeah, but I was taking a lot. But they kept refilling my prescription.
Now, what did that do? Liver damage or something?
No, it was just I'm a fucking sober person, and I got to the point where I was like, I'm not sober anymore.
Yeah,
I'm feeling
yeah,
the same way as
yeah.
reaching for a drink.
When you're sober, do you go to meetings?
No.
Like, you're not that, so...
I did when I started.
Okay, so you didn't need to go back and go, I've been taking fucking hydrocodone.
No, I went to therapy,
Okay.
and then I stopped going to therapy. It helped me.
Some people, I think, get addicted to the meetings.
Oh yeah,
Of course.
Because
Yeah.
I know a person who's in Alcoholics Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous, Overeaters Anonymous, is in all the anonymouses you can do, and really thin, not an overeater. You know what I mean? Just
Well,
just
one program.
because he goes, oh, sometimes when I'm eating like chocolates, I can't stop, and you're like, yeah, they're chocolates. That's what happens. Everyone has that.
Yeah.
But he really believes that, no, because of my personality, I've got to stop everything. It's like, no,
Yeah.
he was always thin, never a fat guy.
Well, it's control. People
Yeah.
have control issues. That's why if somebody's really working the program, the first step is you're powerless. There's this concept of God that most people really struggle with programs. But it's the most important step because you have to let go of the control. And when you go to all those meetings, it's just saying that, like you said, it's a new addiction. It's a new way to control your thoughts, your desires, instead of just, releasing from it, which I did.
I like the sex addiction one because if you look it up in the way they explain sex addiction, every single man in the world has it.
Yeah, but is it fucking your life up?
Well, that's what a therapist will say. Like, how's it?
Because
affecting
I
you?
have it where it fucks my life up
it
every
fucked
now
up.
and again.
I think it fucks up. I think every guy can say it fucked. Any guy that's ever gotten a
Like,
girl pregnant,
I've
any guy
ended-
that's ever gotten an STD, which is like 2/3 of the population. So you've got 2/3.
I've had girlfriends leave me that I didn't want to leave me because I just couldn't stop cheating on them and stuff like that. You can fuck your life up sexually.
Well, it's almost like you live your life and then sex fucks you up. To what degree it does is up to you, but it is not good. Sex is not good.
Yeah.
It feels great, but it is in no way sociologically a positive thing in
I
your
would
life.
I would love just to have no libido, none, just not want to have sex, but then but still have like a partner and have kids and all that type of stuff. But then they want sex as well, so it's this weird.
Yeah. It's
fucking
like Doug
thing.
Stanhope.
Why does he not
doesn't
want
want-
to have
Yeah, I
sex?
think he used to have a lot of sex and party a lot, and then now he doesn't really. He just doesn't care about sex at all. He's got this woman that he's with, and she's a little off, and they live in the desert, and he's sexually, I think, kind of neutral now.
Geez, that's the life, isn't it?
Yeah. I used to wish I had no balls. When I was a teenager, jerking off constantly, staring at every girl, fucking, you can't focus on. I used to think, God damn, I wish I had at least one less ball
to give you half the.
to focus or.
Yeah.
Well, I got a lovely girlfriend at the moment, and my big fear is with this TV show. It's like the first thing that went through my head was depression. That like, fuck, hot chicks are gonna like me now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'd rather they just hated me. I'd rather just be one of these fat guys.
It's
that
easier.
go,
It is easier.
but girls like me because of my job and stuff, and that's fucking annoying.
Yeah.
Right? But your whole life you want girls to like you, and then when they do, you're like, you're destroying my life. Why can't I just have one like me and the rest of them hate me?
Yeah.
Not me.
You think you'll last? The relationship will last?
I hope so.
I had a.
Can you cut that pause out?
I had a similar. I was never great getting girls. I mean, I got a lot of girls, but they were very low quality. I was always like a numbers guy. You know?
Right.
Really, I slept with hundreds of women, but very few over say a 7.
Right.
And that didn't bother me. I was happy to be with a fun girl, not somebody I had to spend a lot of fucking energy on. And then I meet my wife, who's fucking beautiful and kind of cool. And then I get this show on MTV that I'm hosting.
That's her right now.
Yeah. Honey, I'll be right up. Just talking about you. Stop licking your
standards are
vagina.
a lot lower than ours.
So I get this show on MTV that I'm hosting, and sure enough, like I'm doing colleges, and chicks are like literally
That was
saying,
the trivia show.
Yeah, it was
called?
Idiot Savants.
Yes, I remember that. You always had good suits.
Good shark skin suits.
Yeah.
And hosting a game show.
Skinny ties.
So it was like 1970.
Yeah, I'll never forget that.
And so, and I just didn't do it, and it fucking hurt me to my core. And I still think there was one time in West Virginia where this girl, they all invited me to a drum circle by a river after a show. And they were all like just fucking kind of hippie, and they were drinking moonshine. And this girl, she just said to me, can I get a ride back to the dorm? And I had my rent-a-car. And I just met my wife. And I drove her to the dorm, and then I dropped her off, and she goes, well, you want me to come back to your hotel room? And this really was, I cheated on every fucking girlfriend like it was a varsity sport my whole life. And I knew how it ended. I knew how fucking shitty it felt. And I really felt like I met the one. And I go, no, I'm just going to go back and watch some porn. She goes, and I'll never forget this, we can go make some porn. And it was like all time slowed down. Everything became painful.
Yeah.
And I didn't do it, and there's a part of me to this day that regrets it, but I probably wouldn't have kids and a marriage. Like if I had done it, then I'd have done it. Like I knew how fucking once you do it, you're gonna keep doing it. Like same way I quit drinking.
Right.
I was afraid.
Once you open that door, you're not closing.
Once you've
that
done it,
one.
you've done it.
Yeah.
You've cheated.
Yeah.
I don't know. So you gotta decide, because don't fuck it up. And when I say it, the pussy that you could be getting, if this isn't the one, you don't want to miss that.
No.
Yeah,
you know.
that was like your defining moment. I had a moment like that where I had a girlfriend that I thought I was going to marry, and we were down at the beach, and her mom and her had asked me, we were going to go have some drinks at like lunch, like have a drink, and then we were going back to their house to watch her niece. That was our day. We were going to babysit the niece. So we go to this bar restaurant,
The
and we're
niece
eating.
was so hot, and he
So it was a
fucked it.
four-way. The mother was fingering his ass.
We go to the bar, and all my buddies are there, and they're drinking heavy, and they're like, come on. And I'm like, well, I got to go babysit with. And then I hear my friend yell over. They've got girls with them, and there's these St. Pauli girls. You know, they're doing the promo for St. Pauli Girl beer, and the girls are showing their tits and everything. And my friend's got two of them, and he goes, hey, Eddie, watch this. And he like puts the two girls together, and they make out. And I hear my girlfriend and her mom go, come on, we got to go. We got to go babysit. And I'm caught in the middle. I look at my friends and these girls making out, and I look at my girlfriend and her mom. And at that moment, I heard in my head, like everything went in slow motion. And I just heard myself saying, we're breaking up right now. Because every part of me wanted to go, see ya, fuck off, have fun with the kid, and just run to my friends and have fun. But I went back and babysat and always fucking resented the girl for that.
Yeah.
Like I was like, why didn't I go? That was going to be the greatest.
And it's wrong
night
that you
ever.
can't. That's what's so fucked up about it. It's just why? Why can't you just go, honey, love you, your mom, your niece, a lot of good times ahead of us.
Just gonna have a
right
fun
now,
night.
there is a life-changing experience that I don't want to miss. Why can't you play that card once in a while?
I have this theory that if guys were allowed to cheat once every 6 months, and I think that's all it would be needed. It's once a year is not enough, but once every 6 months, that every marriage would stay together. and be perfect.
Divorce would be at an all-time low.
I agree with that.
Once every 6, I think 6 months is the amount you need, and you probably
And it's
wouldn't
got
use
to
them
be
all.
guilt-free.
Yep.
Go do it.
But I don't think it would be used that often. I don't think you'd use your 2 a year.
I was thinking about it the other day. Me and my wife were having
No, what I'd do is I'd tell my wife that I'm going to use 8 this year, but I'm going to be really good the next few years.
See, what I'd do is I'd say
that assumes you can find 8 girls to fuck you in 1 year.
I'd say if I save my
The worst
one
is
this 6 months,
that's your plan, and you can only find 7. And then you fucking wasted that. That quota.
I'd save my one and then go, can I have a threesome next month where there's two of them? And but I do think that. I think one every 6 months and we'd have a much better society.
I agree.
I think that's a good enough thing to wrap the show up.
All right. Do we have anything to plug? When's
I have a new TV show coming out on FX starting in January called Legit. Tune in.
When's this airing? Thursday. This is coming out this Thursday? Next Thursday. Well,
When's this coming out? Thursday. This Thursday? No, next Thursday.
hope you enjoyed our live show. Check us out on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Jim and Eddie Talk Shit, I think. Our Twitter, what's our Twitter? Talking Shit News. That's manned by Farside. And thank you guys. Thanks, Greg Fitzsimmons. Anything to plug?
Yeah, my podcast is called Fitzdog Radio. It's on fitzdog.com, and I got some dates coming up. San Francisco, Seattle, and
Where are you in Seattle?
Philly.
You at the Parlor?
Yeah, the Parlor Live. And what town is that?
Seattle.
No,
but it's
not
outside of
Seattle.
Seattle. It's like
a town
Bellevue, I
outside.
think.
Bellevue.
That's
Bellevue,
that's the
Washington.
rich part.
It is. It's where Microsoft is,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
So thank you, Greg.
Thanks
you
for
guys
having
for
me.
listening. And that's it. Good night.
Talking shit. Talking shit. Talking shit. Talking shit.
You don't have your clever little sign off?